Hello adventurers, welcome back to Editing with Excitement. I'm so happy that you guys really enjoyed the first episode of Editing with Excitement. We got 8 views, 1 dislike. I gotta know who the dislike was, but it's okay. We will keep on trying and keep on trying our best. So we are back with another episode. This time I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to render out the best look for a gaming video. Now, if you guys aren't a gaming channel or don't have any involvement of a gaming channel, these tips will be helpful, really. Any video you do, any of these tips will be really helpful. We're gonna start off with, before we render it out, I just want to show you guys some quick stuff that you can do to your video. So I have a video that I already edited for my other channel, Optional Side Quest. Please go check it out. It's with one of my good friends, Wyatt. It's fun. We play a lot of games. This is from Slime Rancher. We're playing, and I quickly just made a little intro. I made our quick little outro. I know we look funny. My tablet, I'm still trying to get used to it. I also made the cool little intro on the front here. The first thing we want to do is we have our gameplay here. Now, like I said, this was already a video that I edited and went through. I deleted most of it so I could show you guys a quick after render of it. And so we have our video here. We have our clips that we want. Before we start off, when you have a big clip, say you spent 30 minutes on recording a video and you got to cut it down. The first thing you want to do is, when you're doing a video, you want to click on this little bar. And if you guys are using a different editing software, if you guys do not use Sony Vegas 14 or 15, then let me know in the comments down below what editing software you are using, and I will try my best to help you out and figure out a way, maybe showing you a tutorial, maybe finding a quick way I can show you guys how. But this is Sony Vegas 14, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a color balance and color contrast. Now, you want to do this, brighten up your video or darken your video, and mattering how you want the video to look. So I'm just going to add some contrast here. And I think that looks pretty good. It's adding some color. Now we can make it darker or we can make it lighter. I'm just going to turn down the dark balance just a little bit, so it's at 7, making it a little darker, not too dark that you can't see it, and not too bright where it's not really destroying the color. So we have this. So if we were to look at the previous one and then we were to go into the newer one, you guys can tell that the color kind of darkens and changes. It looks a little better in my opinion. So you want to make sure you do that. Now, see that I started with this clip right here. Now, if I were to, it's not going to do it on all. If I want to do it on all, let's say we split this clip. If we want those two to be the same thing, we have the whole 30 minutes of a clip. You want to make sure before you start editing, this would be like your first thing. You put your clip in, you're like, okay, I got my clip here. But what do I want to do? So I think I still have my clip. Yep. So here's my clip. It's about a 30-minute clip. And I'm like, okay, so I want to add coloring. So what I would want to do first is go in, do my color contrast, and then like adjust it how I want to it. And that will go through the whole video. It won't adjust anything of here unless like I were to add a plugin or do it in a different way. It only will do it to the whole audio clip before edit. So if I were to edit all this clip right here, the color contrast would stay the whole thing. But if I were to, like I did over here, wait on this clip and do the color contrast on this, it wouldn't show up on any other contrast unless I actually went through the whole thing. So to save you some time, put your contrast and your balance and your color correction. I will be doing another video on more of the color corrections, like saturation, what colors make the video look better. You know, if you want to make it more of a movie look, but you want to add some more color to it, I'll be doing that in another video. This is more just how to render it out. So we did the color balance. Let's say we did it through all of it. We only did it on one, but let's say we did it through all of it. Now the next step would be going back and making sure my audio is not, my commentary, like what I'm doing right now, is not covered up by the gameplay. So right here you can see that I adjust it where you can hear me and Wyatt, but you can also kind of hear the gameplay. Now of course you won't be able to hear it until we are like here. Now how do we do that is in my last video. If you guys don't have it, go check that out. Go check that out. In this video I'm gonna go in a little more depth how to it. So when we are sitting here editing a video, I told you guys to look at the little sidebar and make sure there's no redness. One of the comments I got on my last video, which was from one of my friends, he said that don't eye the bar. Now, the reason why I just said eye with it is because not a lot of people would know, if you're starting off, not a lot of people will know what DBI means. And I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be my job to teach you guys too. But I wanted you guys to kind of get around, kind of dink around with the sidebars and understand it. Maybe like dink around, test out some videos, see how you want to do it. But the reason I didn't say it is because a lot of the times when I record my gameplays, I turn it down in my Elgato already. So I won't personally need to turn down my game audio to what it's usually set to. With my audio, usually I turn it down where I want it to be. So here, of course, I do have, you want your game audio, or if you have music into it. I don't think, this one I do have music into it. So that right there, he made a joke in the video, which I edited from a previous video. This was the newest one. I still got more to edit on it. But, so he added that into it as a joke and stuff. So, don't mind it. So, I added Hello Darkness in the background. But I also made sure you can hear the original video's audio. And I did that by making sure that my music wasn't too loud. And my video audio wasn't too loud. Now, if we go to a commentary, we want to make sure that your audio of your game that you're playing or your music is around 20, 30, maybe a little lower, mattering how good the quality of the video is. If you have a great mic too, you want to make sure that your audio is around maybe 15 to 20 or 10 to 20 or 15. Around that range should be perfectly fine. Dink around with it, see what kind of mic you have. I personally have a good mic, so I usually have to turn mine down. This is not my mic, this is my friend Wyatt's mic. We kind of do also sit back, so it's a little harder to hear us. So that's why I kept it around 7, 8, because that seemed to work a little better, and that seemed to sound good to me. So that's another thing. You just want to watch the DBI, and you want to make sure that your music and your actual game audio is lower. Now, like I said, if you're not working on a gameplay, you're working on more of just a regular, maybe an acting video or a beauty tutorial, and you have music into it. What you want to do is when you're doing music, you just want to make sure that it doesn't have vocals, because if it has vocals, unless you're doing something that maybe you're not talking or it goes along with that, you kind of want it to go along with you talking, then great, have it kind of match where it's better. But if you add vocals into a talk, I'll do it right here. If I were talking with vocals, it'd be really hard to hear me, and it would be hard to tell who's talking or who's singing. So that's the reason why, if you're doing a video that doesn't go with the vocals, do an instrumental. Now, if you do an instrumental, try to go for a royal-free, or if you're using a music that has vocals in it, go for a royal-free music if you want to make money. If you're not making money on it, then go ahead and use any song, but make sure you at least tell who the song is and who sings it, so that way if people want to look for it and and really enjoy the song, then that's one way they can find it. Also, you're not saying, oh, I created the song, it's mine. No, you're telling YouTube that this isn't my song, but I put it in my video, I'm getting the credit to that. If you were to monetize it and still did that, so basically they're claiming it to make money on it. So like I said, if you basically want to go for royalty-free or just instruments instead of vocals, and like I said, unless it's a thing. Now personally, I usually would do walkthroughs, so I usually won't add music unless it's a certain point that I think is funny. I'll add sound effects and stuff, which is another thing we'll go into more depth in another video, is adding sound effects in your gameplay or your video. So we did the color, we did the contrast, and then we just did the audio adjustment. So we went through all the audio, we adjusted it, we made sure our game audio and our talking audio and our music and our game audio were lower than me actually talking. So that's good. So we have the DBIs between 20, 26, and then me at 7 or lower. So after we have all that, let's say our video is good, we're done. We got our music into it, we got our sound effects into it, we got our cut-ins, and like I said, you can do intros like I did here. And just like that, I did a cool little intro there. So say we got all that done, and I can add like fade-ins too before I do all this, so that fades in, and I can so my outro, it has it fade in too. So now, of course, I'm going to stop that right there because that actually is a song. So what we want to do is, before we actually render out the video, we want to make sure project video properties. We want to go into this. Now we want to make sure you find the best quality of the video. So for I have it on HD 1080 by 60i, and then that will tell me all that. I actually have my own custom one, so I'll click on that. That will turn my frame rate to 60. Now the pixel frame, I will dink around with this on some videos and see what it is. Usually you can just keep it at 8. best. You want to make sure the resolution of rendering quality is the best. You want to disable resampling, because if it resamples, that can mess up the video look of it, and I personally don't like. Now that let's say we have a whole video done and it looks great, before we actually go in and click render as, we want to make sure that we have our whole video highlighted, because if we don't have it highlighted, then it will render as the whole bar. So if you have a 30-minute video, you delete it down until 15 minutes, that 30-minute video is still going to render 30 minutes. So after that 15-minute cutoff, you're going to have another like 10 minutes, 20 minutes of just blackness. So you want to make sure that if you cut down your video, that you highlight the whole thing. Because if you were to highlight just a certain part, this part would only render. So I want to make sure that I boom the whole thing, and then I go up here, I press render as. Now this is the part that kept making my I recorded this 3 different times. This is my 3rd time. This is the part that messes up my computer. So after this done, and I won't be able to show you guys the greatness of the video, but hopefully it works for you guys. So I have an actual setup, my own one. You can make your own, or you can customize template. Here we go. So you can name it whatever. I just named it YouTube so it's easier to find. I have my thing on my frame size on 1080p and the 920 by 1080. I have my profile on high. I have my frame rate at 60. That will lock into 60% or 60 frame rate. And then this stuff, I have that, and you can just copy that, all the rest of it. You want to make sure that you have your file name so you can easily find it, and you can put it where you want. So you want to make sure you put it, click the browse, excuse me. Click the browse and put it where it is. I usually have mine in documents. I need to make a file so I can easily find it, and I need to make sure, you know, I have it on, you know, Mr.Brattyharp, maybe optional side quests. Like I said, I'm working on Slime Rancher for optional side quests because it was messing up and wouldn't work for Wyatt. Wyatt usually takes care of optional side quests while I do my other 2 channels. But so since I usually am just doing it on documents, I'm just gonna press save. And then when I press render, it should render out, and after 4 minutes, that will give you the designated time of how long it will take for the video actually to render out. After that, after it's done rendering out, it should have all the effects. It should be in the best quality you can get, and it should look fine. So you're ready to upload it on YouTube. And I hope this, guys, was really helpful. Like I said, it can work for your gaming videos. It can work for your beauty videos, your vlog videos, anything you want to work on, it can work. I just did it on gaming because I personally do a gaming channel, and like I said, you guys can work on your own settings to make it even better, but that's mine. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a comment down below, leave a like.